Unbelievable harmonies, spectacular performance. Byrd Dawg and the Vintage Electric Band, the ultimate tribute to the Everly Brothers and Simon and Garfunkel. In Oliver, October 2nd. In Kelowna, October 3rd. Buy online and save at ontourtickets.com.
Welcome to the Goddard Report. Comments made on the Goddard Report and TalkDigitalNetwork.com are an expression of opinion only. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guests are Joel Dietrich and Wayne Rempel. Together, they're Byrd Dawg that pays tribute to the Everly Brothers and Simon and Garfunkel. They'll be playing Oliver October 2nd and October 3rd in Kelowna. Maybe explain why Byrd Dawg does, recreations of their songs and why you find them so fascinating.
Their harmonies are just amazing. Phil and Don were singing as little kids, and they were amazing even back then, playing with their family. The Everly Family, I think it was called, a radio show they had.
Yeah.
Now, how did you guys get together and start harmonizing?
Well, actually, it all started, we were backing an Elvis, actually, impersonator, and Joel and I started doing the backgrounds, like the Jordanaire backgrounds. And when we were doing that, we thought, we actually seemed to blend pretty well doing these, and we were given an opportunity to do a couple songs at the start of the show, and I thought, well, maybe we could do some Everlys. That suits the era for sure, and our voices seemed to blend pretty well together, so we started doing a couple of the classic Everly Brothers songs. I think it was Bye Bye Love and All I Have to Do Is Dream, and seemed to go over really well, and that's basically how it got started, and then we expanded from there.
How long have you been together?
3-4 years, I guess. Yeah, it was probably 3 or 4 years ago that we started this.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
Where have you played?
We played in all over the lower mainland, small venues to large venues, and we're...
Up the island?
Oh, up the island as well, yeah. And we're getting ready to go up into the Okanagan pretty quick.
Now, how does your guitar playing fill in on this?
Well, we basically play the parts very similar to how Don and Phil would have played them. And then as far as the Simon and Garfunkel, same thing. We copy the parts pretty close, actually.
Is it just the two of you?
No, we have played as a duo many, many times.
And we, from time to time.
Yeah, we still do from time to time. But we have a backing band of 4 members.
This tour, yes, we're bringing the Vintage Electric Band along, and they are hot.
They certainly are.
And who are they?
On drums, we've got Sean Lang. Our electric lead player is Gord Davies. Our bass player is Steve Labish. And for this upcoming tour, these 2 shows, our keyboard player is Dave Alexander.
And they've played with you guys before?
All of them except Dave. Dave's new for this tour.
So a pretty tight group.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're phenomenal.
What kind of reaction do you get from your crowds when you bring out these classic acts?
Well, I think the first thing is that people seem to say after the shows, they always say it really brings back memories. That's one thing that I hear quite often. And then the other obvious thing is they're singing along to a lot of the songs. And
that's a lot of fun, looking out into the audience and just seeing their faces light up as they sing along with you.
Yeah, so I mean, they're clapping and all carrying on, and it's actually just a real good time.
Doesn't throw you off at all, does it?
No, it encourages us.
I love it.
Audience participation, always the best.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
we feed off that.
Do you take requests?
Well, we're always open to requests, so not necessarily going to play them, but we want to put our best foot forward. So if it's a request of a song that we're not sure is going to come off well or tight enough, we probably wouldn't do it.
And plus, we've basically planned a show and worked at it over, I guess, about the last year, pacing it properly and everything else. We're basically sticking to a pattern that we know works really well.
Do you do any acts outside of Simon and Garfunkel and the Everlys?
Any acts? No.
Yeah, any other songs?
We do other songs. A few other songs might pop up in this show as a surprise. Because it's unbelievable how many artists were influenced by the Everly Brothers. Even Simon and Garfunkel, heavily influenced by them. And so we like to point that out to the audience and give them a taste of some of the other bands that have been influenced.
Yeah, sometimes we'll play a song that has different attributes where you can easily hear the Everly Brothers' influence on a certain song.
Right, whether it's a particular harmony or maybe a guitar lick or a strumming pattern or something along those lines.
And so you showed that off to the audience.
Yes.
Do they appreciate getting a little bit of rock and roll history? Maybe some people don't realize how much influence they've had.
It's a good education.
It's actually been an education for us too, as we've delved into their music. You first of all, you start finding out all those things. You hear the Everly Brothers sing Kathy's Clown, for instance, and you hear how they do that harmony, and then you can hear that the Beatles use that same harmony in one of their hits.
And the Turtles.
Yeah,
and the Byrds.
Yeah, and the Yardbirds and stuff like that. You hear it all, especially the British groups,
Well, I was just looking at the spelling. First of all, the name Byrd Dawg, Byrdawg. Why that spelling?
Why not that spelling? I think just to be creative.
You kind of like the idea of this. It's kind of like the Byrds is spelled like the group the Byrds from the 60s, and both those groups were popular in the 60s. And then DAWG, that's sort of a form of improvisational music. So we just kind of put the two together and thought it was kind of cool.
We'll have more with Byrd Dawg right after the break.
Unbelievable harmonies, spectacular performance. Byrd Dawg and the Vintage Electric Band. The ultimate tribute to the Everly Brothers and Simon and Garfunkel. In Oliver, October 2nd. In Kelowna, October 3rd. Buy online and save at ontourtickets.com. More and more people are looking to the internet for intelligent, riveting, and thought-provoking interviews. To advertise on the Goddard Report and TalkDigitalNetwork.com, call 604-699-8600, 604-699-8600.
In Goddard we trust.
Welcome back. We're speaking to Byrd Dawg. That's Joel Dietrich and Wayne Rempel. Besides the Everly Brothers and Simon and Garfunkel, what were the other big musical influences in your life?
Well, for me, it would be the Beatles. Probably, I'd have to say Buddy Holly as well. I like the 50s stuff, Elvis, and Chuck Berry. Sort of all that 50s, 60s stuff. That's my favorite.
I grew up enjoying that as well. My parents were actually into folk quite a bit, so we had a lot of folk music, a lot of bands with or groups that were singing in harmony a lot, so that was in the house a lot. And then, of course, in my teens, I started getting into some of the other more current rock and roll, Van Halen and things like that.
But you grew out of that.
I don't want to even talk about that. Never mind.
Did you start playing music early as kids?
I did. Let me see. I'm trying to think. I was probably 5 years old when I started playing ukulele. Got into piano lessons. My mom would make me play piano and practice every day. Started playing drums in my early teens. So, yeah, I've always been messing around with some instrument.
I started playing guitar in my early teens. I think I was around 14. Was learned in high school, and of course right away tried to learn how to play the Beatles songs and the Buddy Holly and all that stuff. So, and later a little bit of mandolin too. My dad bought me a mandolin for my graduation. And I learned how to play that, so a little bit of bluegrass and stuff thrown in there, too.
Any regrets about having to take those piano lessons?
Any regret?
Yeah.
No. At the time, didn't enjoy it at all, but I'm grateful now.
Is that something a lot of parents should look at, getting their kids involved in music?
I think so, particularly if they show any kind of interest at all. I did that with my kids. My son, we actually went through about 3 or 4 different instruments before landing on something that he quite enjoyed. And my daughter, a few less instruments, but she's turning into quite a saxophone player. Just got bumped up to her senior jazz sax in school, which she's pretty proud of, and so am I.
If there was anything else you like to do in music, what would it be?
Go ahead, Wayne.
Well, I like producing music, actually. And occasionally do that, but just more on a hobby level kind of deal with other friends that sing and play as well. I like doing that. I like encouraging other people as well. My own kids, I've encouraged them to play, and they all play a little bit, and probably not as much as I would like, but they also might come back to it later, so you never know.
Do you guys jam a lot with others?
Yeah, I think we do. Although with the show coming up, it's been mostly the same crew that we're practicing with a fair bit, but Wayne just recently had a jam.
Yeah, just jammed last Saturday with with a couple friends from way back and had a blast, actually. That was fun. And we did some Beatles songs.
The Beatles always are.
Yeah.
Every jam I've ever done, a Beatles song comes into it someplace or another.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You had that bluegrass thing, too. Wayne.
Well, that's right. Yeah, I did that. It was about 2 weeks ago at my mother's house. Actually, they got a big property and had some people over for the afternoon, and a bunch of bluegrass pickers, and just sat around trading tunes, and yeah, that's fun too.
What can people expect at your performances in Oliver and Kelowna?
They can expect to have a lot of fun. They can expect to be surprised. They can expect to hear songs that take them back, and I really think there's something for everybody there, and I know they're going to have a good time.
Oh yeah, the audiences love that. They're going to hear a great band, and yeah, just like Joel said, they know pretty much every song, I would think, and I can pretty much guarantee they'll walk away singing or humming something from the night.
That's always a nice feeling, isn't it? Seeing people leave with a smile on their face and a tune on their lips.
Oh, it's one of the best aspects of doing this, actually.
Do you guys have a website people can check out?
Yes, we sure do. www.byrddawg.com, and that's BYRDDAWG.
Fellas, thanks a lot for chatting with us.
You bet. Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
My guests have been Joel Dietrich and Wayne Rempel. Together, they're Byrd Dawg. You can catch Byrd Dawg Friday, October 2nd in Oliver at the Frank Venables Theater, and Saturday, October 3rd at the Kelowna Community Theater. Tickets are available at ontourtickets.com. You're listening to the Goddard Report on TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Find us on Twitter at TalkDigitalNet. Our popular YouTube channel is Talk Digital Network. Comments about the show can be emailed to info@howstreet.com. I'm Jim Goddard.
Comments made on the Goddard Report and TalkDigitalNetwork.com are an expression of opinion only. The Goddard Report is available online and mobile at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. The Goddard Report is a production of Howe Street Media Incorporated.